Today we will speak about 7 proven ways to monetize your expertise. And actually, this is the brand new topic that we will be covering at our live workshop. We have never covered it before. At our free live events, it was just only available in our program, but today we will share some of this useful, interesting, and really important information with you at this live event.
Today, we will highlight the power of personal brand, because we believe so profoundly that it's such an important tool to have, whether you work for the company, whether you have your own business. And this is a tool which allow you as well have different streams of revenue in different options of monetization, which we'll deep dive in today. And actually, monetizing your expertise is really important leverage of all your knowledge and all your learning and experience you had, and we will look to the details how actually do that.
And just before we start speaking about monetization, I would like to share with you this screenshot. It's a screenshot of one of the polls on LinkedIn about the importance of growing your personal brand. And you can see that this actually is unquestionable issue, that it's extremely important, especially now as we not only work offline, but we also work online. We have the whole world open to us. And the stronger your powerful brand is, the greater are your possibilities and the opportunities that you attract.
Think about your streams of revenue. Whether if you work for a company or you have your own business, think how your assets are utilized. And you can look at yourself actually as your most valuable asset. Normally, we invest in ourselves all our life by learning, studying, getting experience, having this, acquiring the expertise through various things. So it is a big investment. And the question is here, whether we really have the return on those investments. Imagine a house. So if we have a house and we live in, so it's not our revenue stream, let's say. But if we have another house, a summer house somewhere, or maybe a little flat nearby, and we are not renting it, then it's a cost center. So we are paying for facilities, maybe for the loan and so on. But if we start renting it, then we start actually generating the revenue, and it becomes more a profit center than a cost center. So look at yourself as such a valuable asset where you have the potential to leverage and multiply your income thanks to your experience and expertise in a very different ways.
And here just one example. Very briefly, see the difference between the personal account of just one person, Cristiano Ronaldo, and presence on Instagram and the number of followers of 20 top clubs of Premier Football League. You can see that Cristiano Ronaldo, with less marketing budget, has almost twice more following than all 20 clubs. And the impact that he creates through his personal brand is actually much bigger than the impact that these 20 clubs have over their following. Keep it in mind, because what happens, and we speak a lot about this with Elena, people buy from people. And people, when they are looking for something on social media, when they are looking for some services, for some products, what they also buy in addition to those services and products is the person who delivers that. That's why, for example, at our programs, at our private consultations, we always stress the importance of being there and representing your business, representing your company, representing what you do, not hiding behind the curtains and just living and leveraging your marketing budget, but being you there with your authenticity, your conscious personal brand, in order to attract the right customers, sales, the right opportunities, and many more things. Maybe let us know in the chat for you whom you consider a person with a strong personal brand. or maybe a role model for you whom you follow, and you think that that presence of that person is really big and impactful.
Elena is putting Simon Sinek. Absolutely, this is the reference when we talk about why in the topics of organizational leadership and personal development. And yes, Steve Jobs, fantastic. Yes, great, inspiring examples. So actually, we won't spend much time on presenting ourselves in a classical way today. We will do it differently via our revenue streams. But overall, I'll start with myself, Marina, if you...
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay with that? So I'm Elena. I'm coming from a corporate background. I lived and worked in Danone and Microsoft in 5 different countries. 10 years ago, I started my first business, which was headhunting agency. And then I developed myself in career consultancy and further in coaching, in leadership development. So now I'm collaborating with some business schools, and I'm co-founder of TopExpertBrand Accelerator. We'll mention later on today. Please, Marina.
And yes, my name is Marina. I come from banking and finance, where I spent 20 years of my life when I unexpectedly lost my job, and then I had to start my entrepreneurial journey. I'm also a certified coach. I collaborate with different companies as a coach as well. I was mentioned, a chapter about me was actually written in the book Outstanding Biographies of Our Women Entrepreneurs. I also participated as a co-author in a best-selling Amazon book. I lived in 7 countries, and together with Elena, I am a co-founder of TopExpertBrand Accelerator. And this is our more, let's say, picturesque presentation, which comes to the topic of our webinar of today. And we present ourselves today with these streams of monetizing, actually our personal brands. You can just have a look at these and maybe start thinking what of these you can apply to yourself. And we will speak about this at the end of our event. And also during the event, we will dive deeper in different ways of monetizing your expertise and how it's correlated actually with the growth of your personal brand.
And so, as we mentioned, we are co-founders of TopExpertBrand Accelerator, and here is our webpage. So just if you want to learn more and see other tips, and there are a lot of materials in the blog about how to build personal brand, thought leadership, and how to monetize it, obviously. So just don't hesitate to go on this webpage.
And here's what we offer. Inside of TopExpertBrand Accelerator, we have different types of services and the ways that we work with our clients. First of all, it's our online programs, and the biggest of them is TopExpertBrand Accelerator Mastermind Program. Afterwards, it's individual consulting and coaching that we offer to C-suite leaders, to business owners, to experienced professionals, and we also work with our corporate offers with different companies.
And I see the people still joining us. So for those who are joining, please introduce yourself as well in the chat so that we know who is today with us and where you are working, in which area, whether you're an entrepreneur or maybe working for the company. And actually, with whom we work in TopExpertBrand Accelerator is employed professionals, so those who are working for the company and they want, through personal brand, develop their career, reinforce it, have more opportunities, become a thought leader in the field. We work as well with professionals and experts in transition who want start working on their own and have this independence, entrepreneurship journey. And we work as well already with business owners who want to, through the power of their personal brands, increase their sales, attract more clients, become go-to expert in the area of their expertise or niche.
Okay, and here's one of the most maybe important messages of our today's presentation: why monetization through multiple streams is important. I will tell you just briefly one story about myself. As I mentioned before, in 2015, I unexpectedly lost the job because of the owner of the company died. And I had to start really from the scratch building my business here in Spain after returning from Canada. And in addition, at those times, I couldn't find a job. It was a really, let's say, interesting and challenging journey for me. And in those times, you know, two things that I was really regretting of not using my opportunities while I was working for the company. The first one, I didn't use the possibilities that I have for growing my personal brand, just for me, not representing the company, but for myself. And the second thing, I had time in those times because I was working 9 to 5, and then I had more time in the evening, and I was not clever enough to use that time to actually start working on creating other revenue streams for myself. That's why when I lost my job, I had zero for the revenue streams, and I had personal brand that, okay, I was visible in my industry, but it was totally, let's say, chaotically built personal brand that I was using opportunities here and there, but I didn't work on that in a strategic way. That's why we want to explain to you actually that through monetizing your expertise in different ways, what can happen? You can find your passion and put it into work. For example, you work for a company, right? For example, you are a lawyer, but you are not very happy with the schedule. You are not very happy, I don't know, with transiting to the company, to your workplace. But for example, you like writing and you can start writing a blog. It will be also about some law issues. But with that, you can find your passion and you can do something differently on your own as an entrepreneur, actually using your expertise in the way that will benefit you also financially, but at the same time from, let's say, passionate and moral part as well. Then it's definitely a return on investment on all that money that you have invested, money and time and efforts in building your expertise, in gaining your experience. And then you will put your expertise to work. It will not be just an asset that you have as something that you get your salary and that's it. But no, you can use it in more different ways than just getting the salary from your company. Then it's a way of creating a passive income, because in addition, as I mentioned, if something happens in your life, you can already some streams that will be able to support you, you know, in the process when you are looking for something different or when you are focusing even more on the streams that you have. And then it can build secure transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. If you decide, yes, to become an entrepreneur.
And here we wanted to ask our audience, and I see people still joining, so I hope, yeah, it's all working. So for those who just joined, please present yourself in the chat. And our question for you here is like on the scale from 1 to 10, how it is important for you to get those multiple streams of income. So how you see this topic appealing to your current situation. And while you are putting on the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is not important at all and 10 is very important, please put it in the chat. We are moving for the next topic. For those who are planning a transition from corporate to have your business, this is actually the message we are hearing from our clients and from people we collaborate with all over, that don't start your business quitting your job. So try to combine, start to generate income, do the tests while you are still working with the company, try to create those streams of income, monetization, and then when you see that it's working and running and you have this security, let's say, then you can transition. In our recent podcasts, we will mention it later on, we had two very successful entrepreneurs who are talking both without knowing each other, nearly the same story of failure. That's what they've done. They quit their job, they started the business, which didn't work, so they had to come back to the paid job, get some security, and then restart again. So the message is here, don't wait. Even if you work for the company, start to think how you can capitalize on it now, and we'll give you some examples. And actually, so I see the some comments are coming about importance. So 8, 8, 10, 10. So yeah, I see that it's a really hot topic for those who are with us today. And let me show here a bit of timeline of the whole process. So in the horizontal line, it's time investment, and on vertical is an impact. So when we talk about developing your brand and getting monetization, you can't get it the day one. Even if you have expertise, even if you have experience, you need to spend some time in first formulating your brand in a very clear and concise way so that others really understand, and then you start building your visibility. And to start building your visibility, you need to put some systems in place. So the message is here that it's really work upfront for a certain period of time where you maybe don't see the results, but you are doing things to first formulate and then really become visible with your brand. And in a certain point, you will have those tipping point, so-called, where you'll have this exponential growth in terms of your visibility and therefore monetization. So this is just to let you know that you need to really plan carefully, that it takes time, but once if you've done everything right and you've built the systems, then it's really exponential and you are not limited in the revenues you can get from that.
And before we start discussing typical mistakes that happen, that people make when thinking or not thinking and not doing monetization of their expertise, let us know, please, also in the chat, what do you think prevents you from starting and creating different streams of income? What is the main problem, the main issue there? And in the meantime,
the main challenge, maybe you're doing it already, but it's still not that easy. But now it's not easy.
And in the meanwhile, we will start commenting on those things. For example, from the experience that we have working with our clients, with the students who come to our program, one of the major mistake challenge is that people actually don't know what options are available for them and what they can use in their specific case. Then it's not prioritizing time to find actually suitable options. People can hear something, but they do not put it as a priority on their list. And
we have a comment, sorry, Marina, we have a comment, lack of time is one of the reasons, so we know that.
Well, it comes to priorities, I think, because when something is really important, usually we all find time for everything. So then afraid of experimenting with new ways, because definitely this is the way of trial and sometimes errors, sometimes not. It depends whether you do it on your own, whether you try to learn and, I don't know, get some support from somebody else. For example, in my case, I was learning something on my own, and it was longer, but I could find out some ways. But then even when I was learning afterwards, I would go to a specialist who would specialize on that specific type of monetization. I would get a course, I would get a consultation, and just for the sake of moving quicker and building my revenue. Then it's been influenced by imposter syndrome, that I am not enough. Who am I to create a course? Who am I, for example, to go and speak with people at the university and ask them if I can teach there? Who am I to write a book, for example. So there are so many things about this imposter syndrome, and especially we notice the more experienced people are, the more they are influenced and affected by the imposter syndrome. We spend not a lot of time, but we have a lesson in our program, which is extremely popular. We didn't even expect that, precisely about imposter syndrome, because it helps people see things from another perspective and understand that actually all people have imposter syndrome. And as Elena also was speaking at one of the last interviews, actually having an imposter syndrome is good because it helps you grow. So just
become better in what you do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't get stopped by that.
Mm-hmm. And other block of mistakes coming from doing something, but doing it in a wrong way. What we mean by that? First of all, it's not having clarity what you can offer. And it's not only problem of monetization, it's problem of personal branding overall, because the starting points of defining your brand is really formulated well. Who are you? Why you? What you have to offer? What is your unique value proposition? So there are a lot of elements which you need to concise and put in a very clear message for your audience. And from that, you can create later on those streams. But have this clarity that I am about that as a personal brand. This is what I have to offer. This is the first step. Then are not giving for free, and we will dive to this example here. Yeah, because when we talk about intellectual service, like many of you who are attending, we are talking about expertise, sharing some knowledge, maybe own methods and so on. We see it quite often that people are afraid of giving their knowledge for free. And actually, because it sounds contradictory, now we are talking how to monetize your knowledge, and then first advice we give it for free. So why that? But this is actually to build your audience and to position yourself as an expert in the field. You need to give for free, actually not only writing the blog, but really different things, which are maybe your particular knowledge. And this is the key to succeed in gaining the attention, building your tribe, and become known for something.
And I will mention here that it's also about building trust, and it's actually about demonstrating what expertise you have. I had that struggle in the very beginning when I was just building my business, and I was as everybody, why should I, share for free all that I know? I spent 20 years learning all those things, but then I was present at one challenge, 30 days challenge with one of my favorite marketing team, and we were actually learning there from them. Give the best that you have for free. Then people start understanding that actually you have a lot of value as a professional, and people will come to you. It will not be that they will consume all the information for free and that's it, and they forget about you. No, on the contrary, they will come to you because they will see that what you offer is not just something shallow, but there is a lot of value behind it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Here is one of our examples.
Yeah, Marina, I don't know if you wanted to mention specifically what we have, this podcast and YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So actually, this is just to showcase that you can find a lot of information we are giving, including those workshops and other video materials we have on YouTube channel. We have podcasts where we interview our guests, people who have their brand, and they share their secrets of success in different ways, how to approach building the brand. Then we have two, they call checklists here, but it's really interesting pieces of information. One is self-assessment of your brand, to understand and to calculate your score, how powerful your brand is. And another checklist is about 50 topics to write the content. Because we hear it all over that in order to start building your visibility as a brand, people don't know what to write about. So here you'll find those 50 very different ideas. And we have monthly newsletter, and so we have those live webinars, and we have a Telegram channel where you will find all that and different information combined.
Mm-hmm. So here, if you want to actually assess your personal brand and your visibility at this moment and see what your further steps might be in order to grow your visibility and your personal brand, you can download our self-assessment personal brand questionnaire and just dedicate some maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes working on that and reflecting and finding answers for yourself.
Yeah, and here, so we are coming to the next mistake. It's not building your visibility, because the power of your brand is directly proportional to how many people know about you. So we used to speak that the maybe before 21st century, that it's important how many people you know personally, how important your network is. And now we are saying it's more about how many people know you whom you don't know personally. So this is the power or strengths of your visibility and your connections. And then it's not having clear positioning, because if I have an expertise, but we translate some common knowledge, and these things we can find in the Wikipedia, just Googling them, or there are other sources, then people would not refer to you as a go-to expert. So you need to position yourself against the trends in the industry, against maybe some controversial topics, hot maybe issues, what is out there, what is your fresh and new perspective through the lenses of your expertise you can offer to the people in your niche. So that's in a nutshell what we call positioning. Without that, you can't really stand out of the crowd. And it's not about playing safe, it's really about being bold, defining your approach to what you do, and come up maybe with some new ideas. Then not leveraging your personality. So in the personal brand, we have this part of the brand, and then we have part of the person. So if it's just something there, the text, the even positioning where you have some ideas, but we don't see who is behind it, then the brand is not working. So you need to really bring part of your values, your own experience, how you gain this expertise, let's say, and how you see the things and why. And we saw Simon Sinek was mentioned in the beginning of this webinar, and his position about why is important. So people need to know what is your why behind what you offer. All that gives this volume to the brand and create this attractive go-to person. And another mistake, let's say, it's not having a system and focusing on your personal brand essence. For example, if I write the book about gardening, and then I do podcast about I don't know, about yoga, and then I do leadership coaching, that's true that the message is not there. So the idea is here maybe not repeat same thing everywhere, but at least have a common denominator, the umbrella for your activities. So each different activity you do, or each stream of income would reinforce each other. So if someone know you through podcast, for example, and they want to learn more, and then they see the book on the similar topic, and then they come to a consultation. So you create this, let's say, customer journey across those points of your expertise, products, and the streams. Then it starts to work really nicely together. If it's dispersed and people just don't see what is common denominator between all that, then it's not having this multiplying effect.
Mm-hmm. And I will add here that we specifically spoke about creating the system and creating the strategy of building your personal brand, and that precise focus on your personal brand map, as we call that, in our previous webinars. One of them was dedicated to professionals who work for companies. Another one was dedicated to coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs. If you are interested to learn more about this, just go to our YouTube channel and find 2 last webinars. You will see them among the last videos, and have a look there also, because we are pretty sure you will find a lot of interesting information and ideas. At least the testimonials, the opinion of the people that we received after those webinars were like, they were really revelation on certain topics. And here we will start speaking with you about 7 ways of monetization. At our Top Expert Brand Mastermind Program, we introduce and explain 12 different ways. Today, we will just dive into these 7. We'll mention the rest, and we will show you the understanding, of how it actually can help you to monetize your expertise and how your personal brand can reinforce that. So first of all, definitely it's about selling services, coaching, consulting, audit, mentoring. It depends on your expertise, on what you have been doing. And for example, from our side, we have these 3 different services that we offer precisely to people who come to work with us as physical clients, not corporations. It's personal branding, individual VIP coaching and consulting, which lasts for 5 months. And we support people who want to build their brand and visibility through individual work, coaching and consulting. Then it's 360 personal brand feedback with research and formulation. It's not the typical one that you will find online when you Google. 360, it's customized, and it has really very client-oriented approach and work with the client and his, let's say, surrounding audience. Then it's personal branding express audit and personal brand map formulation. It's, let's say, the starting point of building on your personal brand. It's the express service that we offer. You can think, looking at this, or maybe analyzing what your expertise is, what you can offer as services. And even if you, for example, work in the corporate, because we hear a lot of objections when people work for a company, like they don't have time, or they just don't see it possible that they can sell their own expertise outside of their company. If it doesn't contradict with the company's policy, think what you can offer and start trying it, because maybe you will like it so much that you will leave your corporate work and you will just start selling your services.
And then let's talk about online products, because the first ones, they are more presential and they have their limitations. What are the limitations? So normally when you work in consulting and coaching, you charge per hour, more or less, even if it's for the project, you invest a certain amount of time. And in a certain point, you're limited, because price per hour have their own limits as well. So the bigger is your brand, the more you charge, but still it can be saturated pretty quickly. And then we have all the online possibilities to create courses, webinars, tutorials, various paper documents which we can sell. And so when we talk about the courses, they can be self-paced, so then it works on its own. We have a couple of those here. And so then we have online program, which is running not on its own, but there is a part of teaching, which is online, and then we have live mastermind sessions. So it's so-called blended format, which allow us to be in the contact with participants and accompany them on the journey. But there is as well the part they can learn at their own pace. So think about if you have already some offline offering or hour-based offering, how you can put it online in order to really maximize and multiply it as much as possible, not to be dependent on this hourly rate.
And I will mention one very important thing here, because, well, a lot of professionals, experts, they teach how to create online products, and they speak about this importance of having online products. But there is one trick, really big trick behind. In order to, let's say, succeed, or in order to be able to sell your online products and your courses, your manuals, you need to have an audience. What does it mean to have an audience? It means you need to have visibility, and visibility is the result of having a strong personal brand, of being a person and professional whom people want to follow, from whom people want to buy. And sometimes even, and it happened to me as well, I recognize that sometimes you are buying a certain product, a certain online course or something, just because it's that professional who sells it. You even do not research for anything else, but you are so, let's say, trusting that professional. You follow him, you see him or her, that you purchase any new product that comes out just because of him and of her. So thinking about creating an online product, also think about this, how you will be building your visibility. And there is a structure, there are steps. We've been through that with Elena for years already, building our brands, our visibility. And this is extremely important, how you will drive traffic to your online products. We actually cover this in our TopExpertBrand Mastermind Program. We give different ways of how to do that based on our experience, how we do that, how we get traffic to our online resources. So this is a very important issue that you should keep in mind. Then you can also monetize your expertise through live trainings and tailor-made workshops, online or offline. I will not stop for a lot of time here because it's understandable. When you have a client, in this case, it can be a small company, an entrepreneur, a corporate, that they want a tailor-made workshop or training, so you can use your expertise for creating that and earning money there. Then the next way of monetization, it's monetizing your content channels. These are my content channels. In addition to TopExpertBrand Accelerator, I have another project that I started before when I actually lost my job, and I started doing consulting first and then coaching for entrepreneurs in Spanish. So this is my blog first, and then my YouTube channel. I have them monetized. And here it comes to the question of visibility again and the brand, because I have traffic that comes to my blog, to my YouTube channel from Instagram, where I have 19,000 following, then from my Pinterest business account, where I have 55,000 of following and 4 million visits per month. So all these results in the opportunity of earning extra money. And this is, let's call it passive income. Okay, I create the content, but I also repurpose the content. We also speak a lot about this in our program. We teach how to repurpose the content. You create the content and you can monetize just one piece of content in so many different ways that creates for you that passive income stream that will support you in case if you need to take a break, if you decide to go for holidays and not do something in person, teaching people or doing consultation. So think about this as well. This is very interesting way of monetization. And I may say that even if you learn how to drive traffic to your online resources, that might be maybe the easiest one. And especially it's the easiest one to try. For example, if you like writing, you work for a company, starting with a blog and speaking about different topics of your competence, of your professional competence, can help you create additional revenue.
Mm-hmm. And maybe for those who would be interested to YouTube monetizing, you can mention, Marina, the threshold and how it goes from there.
Yes, well, there have been changes in some rules. I will not say you exactly, but I know that for sure you need to have 2,000 followers on your YouTube channel, and you need to have certain amount of hours watched per year. I think it was 100,000. So I got this opportunity about a year ago to monetize my YouTube channel. And I also was trying different ways of monetizing the blog. And this is actually which gives me greater revenue, monetizing the blog precisely now. First, I tried WordPress native monetization program. It didn't work well for me, just in case if you will be trying that. And then I think I will just switch. You can see it here. I connected to Google AdSense, and this is a really great way. And if you have quality content, if you create quality content, if you have following visibility, and if you know how to drive traffic, this is definitely a great way of getting some extra income.
So our next point is about teaching. Teaching actually is very good to be visible for your brand, but it's good as well to create additional line of revenues. In my case, I'm collaborating with the ES Business School here in Barcelona. For those who are from Spain, you definitely know that, but otherwise it's like #1 on executive education worldwide business school. So I do executive coaching, facilitation of certain courses, and mentoring of the teams in the program. And by the way, I was jumping from facilitation session just straight to this webinar, so it can be done nowadays online. It's not as much time consuming, but it helped me first get revenues, and second to be really up to date on what is going in corporate world, because I work really closely with the teams and learn from them as well.
And I will mention one more thing. It also helps to build trust. I'm pretty sure about this. Yes, when you teach, especially at universities and business schools. And then two last things that we would like to mention today is subscriptions and memberships. This is the way, for example, that we are considering now to introduce this way of monetization to our umbrella, of monetizing our expertise. And then speaking engagements. We have been doing that, and we always look for different speaking engagements, paid, definitely speaking engagements where we can share our expertise, our keynotes, and so on.
And subscriptions and memberships means when you have the community, then you create close contracts, content, subscription base. People pay little fees to accept this very specific information. And there are some other ways of monetization we will not cover in details, but just to mention that they exist. It's maybe writing the books, it's affiliate marketing when you have your audience and you have agreement with other people's products or services, like online courses, for example, and you sell it through your platform and you get commission. So it's advertisement. If you have traffic, of course, you can monetize it. It's about creating the applications and so on. So there are a lot of really many different ways. And here we put the cover of our book, which will be coming in 2022. Of course, we know that book is not nowadays not really great source of revenues. Of course, you can earn some money with that, but it serves as well as a marketing tool. And if you really build the system of aligning your products and services around your brand, then it generate you additional audience, which will go and explore your other products or services. So it's in a way a piece which will bring you more money in other channels as well.
And since you have learned all these different ways that we have explained to you just right now, please share with us in the chat what clicked there in your head, what maybe options you started to think about, options of monetizing your expertise, some additional ways that you can add up to the ways that you already use to monetize, to earn your money, revenue.
I see the training for Marie. What else? What else do you have the idea while you are thinking? Maybe to come back to creating the network of specialized buyers. Okay, so it's building the kind of consultancy where everyone is specialized on one area of expertise so that you can cover the broad range of services for the client. That's procurement expert. Very good. So about strong personal brand, just because there are a lot of definition. What is the brand? Just to explain where we are stating, and when we talk about strong brand, what we exactly mean. So you can imagine those two axes. In horizontal one, you have professional mastery, and on the vertical is visibility and impact. And then we can imagine 4 quadrants. So first one would be the beginner. So the person with little experience and expertise and little visibility. Then we would have someone who master professionally their niche, have a lot of expertise, typically working for the company, but not having visibility and impact. So it's so-called shadow experts. So in this position, it's really difficult to create those additional lines of revenue and monetization, because you really need to focus not only on growing your expertise, but about becoming visible, create a community, being known as a reference. So all these things which are really subject of building strong brand. And then we have, maybe you've heard that sometimes people see negatively personal branding as a self-promotion campaign and having something like an empty bubble, because we have a lot of influencers in different social media, like in Instagram, for example, when they showcase their lifestyle, but really there is no expertise. It's just by putting themselves out there, they create this great following, but there is no really a professional mastery behind that when we can generate intellectual service products out of that. So then it's Wannabe and maybe those type of people which give us this maybe negative look at personal branding. But when we talk about it, we really talk about 4th quadrant, when you are both professional and expert in what you do, but you master as well a second part of being visible, being seen online, being recognized by others for what you do, because you consciously apply strategies and systems to get this visibility. So then you have strong personal brand. This is just to show what we mean by that. And then there is another line diagonal here on this drawing, which is in red, and we call it the magnitude of personality, because if you want really to achieve something big, you need to focus as well on developing your personality, not only master your skills and learning how to be visible, but really setting up higher targets, going out, it's a bit cliche, but going out your comfort zone and really striving for more, because you grow your personality by solving really big problems and having big learnings. When you play small, the results will be small. So that's an aspect we are focusing, by the way, in our course as well, a lot on that, because it can be a limitation if you're not focusing on that.
Mm-hmm. And here we want to present you briefly our methodology that can help you actually in building a strong personal brand, in moving into that 4th quadrant, in order to reach both professional mastery and great visibility, and then monetize your expertise at the most possible ways. So first of all, please make sure that you formulate your personal brand. Many experts, what they do, they just jump into starting and posting something on social media, because they think that when it comes to visibility, they need to go straight to LinkedIn, straight to Instagram, or straight writing something, and then visibility will come. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way. And we have a lot of confirmation for that, both from our own part and from part of people with whom we work. It's extremely important to formulate your personal brand. In our 6 steps methodology, how we work, first we work on uncovering your brand and understanding. We have a personal brand map, which has 13 components, and all those components are all those key things that you will use and you take into account when you start actually your communication, when you start growing your visibility. But first, it's about formulating your brand so that it will help you to really grow your visibility in progression. Then it's about promise, creating the promise. It's about packing all your expertise, all your knowledge, all your experience, all your personal things that will add up to creating that magnitude of your personality. It's packing all that in an offer for your audience. It's about understanding and delivering your positioning, which is also extremely important, and Elena has already mentioned that. Then we come to the third step, which is land. It's doing the benchmark, it's understanding who your competition is, it's about selecting your touch points, all those platforms where you will communicate with your audience, and knowing your audience is another huge thing. And we work on that both in Uncover and Promise parts of our methodology, because without knowing your audience, you cannot attract right people. You cannot pitch yourself in the right way. So it's very important to understand that. And it's also very important to understand where your target audience actually is and be present on those platforms. Because again, many people, what they do, they start creating content and posting it on Instagram because there are people there and they like to watch photos, on LinkedIn because that thread is professional and maybe the clients are there. No, you need to have clarity where your clients are and start just 1 or 2 touch points. And at our, for example, program, what we do for each participant, we discuss and select. They select. After testing that, for example, during the mastermind call, when building their strategy, what touch points they will be using short-term, mid-term, and where they will be focusing in long-term when executing their personal brand growth strategy. Then it comes to, after formulating your brand, it comes to execution part. It's about implementing all that work that you have done on formulating your brand. It's about actually creating and communicating. It's about crafting your content and delivering your content on the right platforms, in the right format, and in the right way. We also discussed that, and all those people who participate in our TopExpertBrand Mastermind Program, they test it. They test it in the safe environment at mastermind calls with their peers, with us. They receive really valuable feedback. So they just do not jump into the water directly, without understanding what exactly works and what doesn't work, what resonates and what doesn't resonate. But first they test it. Then it's about focusing. It's already, let's say, an advanced stage of growing your brand. It's about creating programs. It's about monetization, that actual part that we have explained to you today during this workshop. You come to this only after doing all those 4 previous steps, after completing the work on each of the previous stages. And then it's about taking up. It's about scaling up your brand. It's about networking. It's about partnerships. So there are many more things about creating your media ecosystem, because all that will contribute, again, to greater visibility, to empower your personal brand, and then creating more financial and professional opportunities for you. Mm-hmm. Here, I would like to show you the information about the 4th cohort of our TopExpertBrand Mastermind Program, which will be starting in October. You can scan the code if you want to learn more, and you can apply for interview, because this is the program that we offer to people, and it is run in small groups. And we select participants, because you can check our website. You can check also the landing page of the program. You can see their testimonials, because what happens there, that we select people based on different criteria that we have in order to create a powerful group, so that all participants, all peers support each other, and during 10 weeks help each other move forward and accelerate both their visibility and their brand. And people really start getting results somewhere in the middle of the program. Some start getting calls from recruiters. Somebody start getting calls about, or messages about creating some maybe partnerships, some collaborations. Some people start launching their first programs, webinars. So this is the program where we do not just give some learning and some materials for you. This is the program where you actually come and you work from day one, because each video, and we have more than 90 videos in this program with 8 modules, each video has a homework. And this is the homework that you do in your brand book. You have brand book for each module, and then you have 2 more deliverables. You have your personal brand map, where you have all those components that you need to keep in your mind when working on your brand. And then you have your personal brand growth strategy, which is on 1 page, and you have it also written, tested, and discussed at the mastermind calls with the peers that you afterwards go and execute. And the people who usually come to our programs, they're senior professionals, people who have, I don't know, 15, 20, 25, 30 years of experience. We have people who have been in CEO positions in banks, people who have been working for top companies in the world. And it often happens, especially when people want something more, when they have more ambitions than just having their day job and, earning their salary. But if they want to advance, to impact in a greater way the world, and they want for themselves also some compensation, some moral and both material compensation.
And here to highlight how our program is different from other online courses where you do your own learning journey. Our program is really designed by research of what is the latest methodology. So we have methodology uplift of 6 steps, and we have action learning methods, which you won't find in our open source information. And actually, we accompany you not only in learning, in doing your brand. And what is happening, that you start to see the results of your visibility, of getting some opportunities while you do the program. And the most important piece, these mastermind groups of peers, and that's why, as Marina mentioned, we select people by interview, that we leverage collective intelligence when we have right mix of advice. So you have advice from us and from the peers. Then you have the challenge. If you are hesitating, if you have imposter syndrome, you can't start, so you have this peer group helping you to start. And then you have massive support when you go out there, when you create your first program, your first video, your first post, when you position yourself. And then that's what allows you to move 10 times quicker to reach this tipping point. After that, you can put the monetization and it start working in exponential speed. So we create this a safe environment which leave you actually no chances not to succeed. So if someone is interested, please let us know. And so here's the barcode where you have a landing page, and you can subscribe for interview to share with us why you need the brand, so that we check that you can be a great fit for the program, and vice versa, we answer your questions. I see that we are in our time frame, so maybe someone needs to leave. Please put your maybe questions, if you have, of course, in the chat, and put your takes away. So after what you've heard, what would be your next steps towards this monetization, towards building your brand and generating those streams of revenue? Please let us know what was your inspiration from this.
Yes, and webinar. I will also put this page with our contacts. Just don't hesitate to get in touch. Get in touch with us on LinkedIn. You can send us a WhatsApp on Instagram as well. So get in touch, and just apply for the interview, because application for the interview, it doesn't mean that you need to come to the program and we will be pushing you to come to the program. No, on the contrary, it will be a great way for you to understand actually where you are now, what are your needs, and then we will decide together whether our program is the best way for you in order to grow your brand and to grow your visibility, or you can have some other alternatives, because definitely you can do it on your own. You can learn and check and read and watch all the materials that there are there in the open space on internet. That was happened to me at some point when I was trying to do that. I was consuming so much information, that it took me time actually to grow my brand and visibility. But then when we met with Elena and when we discussed with her our ways of building our professional visibility, of building our career, our entrepreneurship, then we all put it together into the structure. And actually, this is one of the major things that is mentioned by all the people who participate in our program. And you can check it in the testimonials, the structure that we give at the program, the structure that helps you to build your brand in this structured, focused way, following the system.
And we selected actually because you can do many things, right? To grow your brands, to be visible, write articles, do the videos, do the blog, write a book, do the podcast. But there are like just too many possibilities. And what we've done, we've selected really those things, those 20% of things which give you 80% of results. So the whole program is designed that you understand what are your 20%, which will give the biggest impact, so that you can create your action plan and roadmap, short and mid-term, and you really know in each point of time what you need to do.